ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरयेत्। नष्टप्रायेषु भद्रेषु नित्यं भागवत सेवया भगवती उत्तमश्लोके भक्तिर्भवति नैष्टिकी। ओमज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुर्मीलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्तस्वामिन्निति नामिने। नमस्ते सारस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेषशून्यवादी पाश्चात्यदेशतारिणे। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासादि गौरभक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। Reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 8, Chapter 12, Verse 11. Satvam samihitam madasthiti janmanasham bhute hitam cha jagato bhavabandhamokshau vayuryatha vishati kham cha characharakyam सर्वं तदात्मकतया वगमो वरुण My Lord, you are the supreme knowledge personified. You know everything about this creation and its beginning, maintenance, and annihilation, and you know all the endeavors made by the living entities, by which they are either implicated in this material world or liberated from it. As the air enters the vast sky and also enters the bodies of all moving and non moving entities, you are present everywhere, and therefore you are the knower of all. Hmm. So, Lord Shiva is glorifying Vishnu as the supreme knowledge personified. So, is the supreme knowledge personified. Personified means person form of supreme knowledge, meaning he possesses supreme knowledge. That's what it means. And what does supreme knowledge mean? Supreme knowledge means first verse of Bhagavatam. Abhigya Swarat. Abhigya. Abhigya means he knows everything directly and indirectly. He knows everything about his creation, maintenance, annihilation, and he also knows all the endeavors made by the living entities. It's very, very important. He knows everything that we are doing. Our desires, our happiness, our distress, everything he knows. And our endeavors either implicate us in this material world or liberate us. Either it will bind us or it will liberate us. As the air enters the vast sky and also enters the bodies of all moving and non-moving entities, you are present everywhere. Therefore, you are the knower of all. So, Lord is not too far away from us. Lord is present in each of us as Paramatma, and He knows everything that's going on. And Paramatma is Anumanta Upadrushta. He is the permitter and overseer. He is overseeing our activities and he also permits our activities. But because Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, Bhoktaram Yagna Tapasam Sarvalokamaeshwaram Surudam Sarvabhutanam. So being the Suhrudam, being the well-wisher, benefactor of all jivas, Paramatma is actually guiding jivas all the time towards a path which is going to make them free from distress. But because we are conditioned, we don't want to accept his path. Actually, we don't even hear his direction. We can't hear Paramatma speaking from within because our mind is very loud and troubling. Our mind is very loud. There's too much of internal noise. Because of that internal noise, we are actually not able to hear Paramatma's direction, or in another way, because we are so much in ourselves, we don't want to hear the directions of the Supreme Lord. This is our problem. And once we awaken ourselves to his instructions, then we will find only happiness in this life. There's nothing like distress. Distress means forgetfulness of Krishna. That's all. If you're in distress, that means that we've forgotten Krishna. How can there be distress where there is Krishna? Krishna is Satchidananda Vigraha. He is full of Ananda. And being our eternal Father, He doesn't want to see us in trouble. He doesn't want to see us in misery. He doesn't want us to see us in distress. So He's always there with us to guide us, to correct us, to take us on that path which is going to give us real happiness. But we think we are too intelligent. This is our problem. We think we are so intelligent that we don't want to follow His instructions, but we go by our thoughts. Result is distress. It's very, very simple to become happy. Brahma Samhita says, Ekopyasau rachayitum jagadanda kotim yachaktirasti jagadanda chayaya dantaha andantarasta paramanu chayantarastam govindamadi purusham tamaham bhajami. Ekopyasau rachayitum jagadanda kotim. Ekopi, only one person, who Govindam Adi Purusham. He is creating Jagadanda Koti. Thousands of, millions of universes he is creating. Yat Shakti Rasti Jagadanda Chayada Antaha. And his Shakti, by his Shakti, he enters into every universe. And Andantarastha Paramanu. And he also enters the Paramanu, the atom, by his Shakti. So he manifests infinite energy. There is no measure. We can't measure his infinite energy. He manifests infinite energy unlimitedly throughout the material creation. We've already discussed this. Material creation cannot exist for a moment without Krishna, without his presence. We can't live for a second without his presence. We are so much dependent on him. But ignorantly, we think that we are independent. This is our foolishness. And just by his energy, he pervades everything. He is not even present here. He is not even present here. Just imagine how powerful he is. He is not present here. Just by his instructions, things are going on. His orders, things are going on perfectly in this material world. Giving jivas happiness and distress so that we can actually repent, mold ourselves and correct ourselves, reform ourselves. Everything is happening perfectly. आनंद चिन्मय रस प्रतिभाविता विस्तावीर्य एव निज रूप तया कलाभिः गोलोक एव निवसत्य किलात्मभूतो गोविन्दमादिपुरुषं तमहं भजामि. गोलोक एव निवसति अखिलात्मभूता. He is the Akhila Atma of all bhutas. So, and he is present only in his own realm, Goloka. And here Prabhupada is saying, he resides in his own realm, Goloka, with Radha, who resembles his own spiritual figure and who embodies the ecstatic potency, Ladini. Radharani is his own spiritual figure. She resembles his own spiritual figure, because she's come from him, from his body. She manifested. So she resembles him in everything. Because the form seems different, mm, but in all qualities, she resembles Krishna. She's as powerful as Krishna. She's as merciful, but actually more merciful than Krishna. Mm. So, though she comes from Krishna, she manifests qualities which even Krishna can't manifest. She's so great. And she embodies ecstatic potency, Ladini, meaning when we engage in bhakti, which is her energy, which is Radha's energy, we can experience happiness. There is no other way to experience real happiness in this world. Mm. Real happiness is experienced only by pure devotional service, not by mixed devotion, not by non devotion or doing something else, being getting busy in this material world for earning, growing in the corporate world, this, that, and all. Nothing is going to give us happiness. Nothing is going to give us happiness. It's an illusion. It's a mirage. It's an illusion. It's just cheating us. That's all. But real happiness is only here. And then what about all that work and this? That'll go on. That's just side business. Side business. Why we have to just keep our body and soul together? We have to be alive. So we need food. We need some shelter. We need some clothes. That's all. That's all is the goal of work. Nothing more. That's why in the first canto, Bhagavatam only it is said saying that Dharma svanushtita pumsan vishvaksenu katasu yaha na utpaded yadirathim shamayevi evahi kevalam. If we are engaged in some work which doesn't give us time for Krishna, which doesn't enable us to develop a taste for hearing about Krishna, then it is Shama evahi kevalam. It is simply a waste of time. Simply a waste of time. You might say, no, no, Prabhu, but I'm earning crores of rupees. But what is the use of that money? What is the use of that money if we can't get Krishna? Sit down and hear. Their companions are her confidants, who embody extensions of her bodily form and who are imbued and permeated with ever blissful spiritual rasa. So, the companions of Radharani are her confidants, are the gopis who embody extensions of her bodily form. So the gopis are just expansions. They're expansions of Radharani. And just like Radharani is full of spiritual bliss giving potency. So they are also imbued and permeated with ever blissful spiritual rasa. Permeated, this word permeated means it's there like inch and inch of their existence, so to speak, to help us understand. Permeate means in all of their existence. Whatever they do is for the pleasure of Radha and Krishna. And by trying to make Radha and Krishna happy, they are eternally blissful. Now, this eternal bliss in Goloka sometimes is very difficult to understand. Anyway, I'm not going to go into it. But they're embodiments of blissful rasa. So everything about Goloka is blissful. Today morning I was hearing a lecture. Prabhupada is talking about viparitani, nimittani cha pashyami viparitani keshava. So Krishna, Arjuna in the first chapter is telling Krishna, saying that Krishna, whatever I am doing is only resulting in reverse outcome. So Arjuna is saying, see, I'm doing something so that I get happiness, but I end up in distress. Prabhupada says that this material world, this is the nature of this material world. That you do something to be happy and you end up experiencing distress. And he said that for that little happiness that you can get in this material world, one has to work so hard with no guarantee that there's going to be happiness. It's only a hope. It's only a hope that I will work like this, I will live like this, and I will be happy. But it's only a hope. There's no guarantee. Prabhupada said that Anyway, we have to work hard. Why don't we work hard for Krishna? Because there is guaranteed happiness. Mm. Otherwise, we simply try for something, we get something else, which is not what we want. And this is the material world. Now, the spiritual world is whatever you do. Even if somebody is crying in spiritual world, it is bliss. Even if somebody is laughing in spiritual world, it is bliss. Mm. Katha ganam natyam gamanamapi vamshi priya sakhi. If somebody is walking, it's dancing. If somebody is talking, it's singing. This is the bliss of the spiritual world. And Prabhupada so mercifully has actually given us, and I am just simply repeating this, this morning program can give us so much bliss. Uh, Actually, I feel that, many years of my bhakti life, I missed this Mangalarti. Though I was actually staying close to the temple, I never went for Mangalarti. Same reasons, work, sleeping late, this, that. But nobody told me saying that it's so important that it can change your life. Come. Unfortunately, nobody told me. Nobody told me the importance of this Mangalarti. And every day I see that, and I was talking to devotees, everybody is looking forward to Mangalarti. Why? It gives bliss. At the end of the morning program, there is happiness. And we don't know why. We can't put our finger onto something and say, this is causing me happiness. It's just bliss. Because this is spiritual life. This is life in Goloka. From morning 4:30 to literally like 9 o'clock, devotees here are just engaged in Nama, in Kirtan, in Aarti, in devotion, which is what people do in Goloka. What time does Krishna get up in Goloka? Hmm? Does anybody know? What time does Krishna get up in Goloka? Don't tell me he doesn't sleep. Of course he sleeps. Okay.
3 a.m.
Huh?
3 a.m.
3 a.m. Why he has to get up at 3 a.m.? Huh?
I read somewhere, I'm not recollecting, but I read he gets up early in
No,
the
no, no.
morning.
No, he gets up early in the morning. His early morning is slightly different. Okay, what time does gopis get up or manjaris get up? All the people who have to serve Radha and Krishna. Hmm? They get up at 3:30, and that is why we get up at 3:30, because we have to get used to getting up at 3:30 in Goloka. Otherwise, we'll be sleeping through and Krishna is gone. Right? 3:30 is the time when they get up, and Krishna is awake, not awake, awake, not awake. They're in their pastime. Goes on till almost up to, like, only by 6 o'clock he returns to his house and again sleeps, or makes yeah, actually he sleeps. So before they get up, all the manjaris, gopis, they have to be awake to wake them up, and then there's so many services to be done. And so this is the morning bliss in Goloka. The morning Mangalarti is the morning bliss in Goloka. And the beauty about this the morning bliss in Goloka is there is no disturbance. There's no disturbance. There's nobody else. In fact, there is no, might seem a little bit, I don't know what is the word, but there is no Nanda Maharaj, there's no Yashoda, there are no boys. It's only Radha, Krishna, the gopis and manjaris. Unadulterated, undisturbed bliss, morning bliss. So that is morning program. See, that's why I keep saying Prabhupada did not express in as many words what program he's given for us. Okay. The more and more we read about the spiritual world, the more and more we try to understand things, then we can understand saying that everything that Prabhupada is instituted is just making us perfectly ready for that life there. And we won't know. And then we suddenly switch and looks like, yeah, exactly. This is what I was living in this Bhuloka also. You'll be surprised saying that it's just like continuation. You just get up, okay, different spiritual body, right? But by that time, we would have also realized our real constitutional form, our real rasa, our real position in the spiritual world. So already we will be in that mood of service here. So when we leave this material world, we simply wake up to just continue our service. Just like, we slept yesterday, got up today, and we're continuing our service. We will sleep the time of so-called death, get up, wake up in Goloka, and then that's it. Of course, it's not just simply that's it, right? But it's Goloka. It's the real experience of Goloka, which is out of the world. But yes, we are prepared for it. We are prepared for that life of bliss. So we have to simply follow what Prabhupada gives us. It's always perfect. Although Govinda is always present in his abode, he is simultaneously present everywhere. But he is simultaneously present everywhere only through his Shakti. He is not himself present. He is not interested actually. Udasinavat. He is not very much interested in this material world. He is only interested in his devotees in this material world. He is interested in the devotees spreading Krishna consciousness. That's what he is interested in. He is not interested in karmis and their happiness, distress. Durga Devi is there. She is taking care. He's not like so bothered. Uh, Not that he's hard hearted, but he set up a process for that, right? And uh, conditioned souls are such that even if Krishna stands in front of them and say do bhakti, they'll say no. So what is the use, right? So Krishna has given set up a process, right? So when do jivas learn? When we suffer. The only way for us to learn is when we suffer. The more we suffer, the more we will learn. Either we are suffering now or we already suffered in the previous life. One of them. Because otherwise we don't learn. We don't learn. We think we are too intelligent. Which is why yesterday also evening in Kannada class I was saying, just whenever there is suffering, just understand that it is for our rectification. That's all. We should be happy that Krishna is giving us an opportunity to rectify ourselves. Because if there are no problems, we will spoil ourselves more. Like children, if suppose parents don't rectify them, tell them they're wrong, what they're doing is wrong, right, etc., they'll just go on doing something wrong. So, how are they going to correct themselves? So, the only way we correct ourselves is when there are problems. So, problems never be seen as problems are not to be disturbed. Problems are to become focused, to become introspective, or to become repentant, to make progress. This is the intention of problems. This is the intention of the suffering in this material world. The intention of suffering in this material world is to make us free from suffering eternally. But our problem is we don't want the suffering in this material world. Now Krishna is saying, see the deal here. Try to understand this. Krishna is saying, you suffer here, I'll give you eternal happiness. We say, no, I don't want to suffer now. He said, that means that you don't want eternal happiness. No, so we should be intelligent. We should say, no, I'm okay to suffer here because this is the jail, I'm rectifying myself. If I'm preparing for a life full of bliss, why not suffer a little? Hmm? Uh, it's like, people work so hard. Why do they work so hard? Paisa. Nay, paisa at the end of the month, there is salary. For that salary to increase, people are working so hard. Because they're seeing that is their, what is that, bait. That is what is being shown to them, saying that, see, you're going to get this money, now work hard. So Krishna is also giving us a bait, saying that, come, eternal life of bliss, little distress, little distress. And I'm there with you. Krishna says, I'm there with you. In your distress also, I'm there. I'm helping you. Just look at me. Just turn towards me. Hmm. So we don't have to, he's present here to help us. So we should understand this. And he's preparing us for that eternal blissful life, which we can't we can't imagine. And can you just imagine that we can just be happy all the time without any reason for worrying, thinking, anxiety. It seems like unusual, unreal. Mm. Prabhupada is saying nothing is unknown to him. We don't have to. That's why I keep saying, don't stand in front of Krishna and saying, Krishna, this, Krishna, that. Krishna says, I already know, Baba. I already don't know. Why are you just like, you think I don't know? I know. Nothing can be hidden from him. Mm. So Lord is compared to the air. Air is there everywhere. Whether we know or we don't know, air is there everywhere, even within this body. If that air ceases to be in our body, we can't function. The required amount of air is not there in the body, we can't even function. But we don't even know that there is air. So Krishna is there. Krishna is there with us all the time. Yes, we have to trust him. Hmm. I always give this example of a child learning to ride bicycle. Child might just be about to fall, but the father will hold the cycle. But the child is very anxious. He keeps looking back, saying that, "Hey, are you not holding the cycle? You're not holding the cycle." Father says, "Chill, I'm here. Just you go forward. I'm here. I'll not let you fall." So Krishna is like that. Krishna is there with us. So we don't have to worry. And eventually, all this is for that eternal life of bliss. That's what we are preparing for here. So don't see life's problems as problems. See life's problems as preparation for that eternal life of bliss. And Krishna knows everything. Krishna knows everything. Krishna doesn't like us to suffer. But if Krishna is still letting some situation happen in our life, understand it is His mercy. There is something important for us, and He's giving us that. That's all. Simple, over. अवतारमया दृष्टा रममाणस्य ते गुणैः सोऽहं तद्द्रष्टुमिच्छामि यत् ते योषित्वपुर्धृतम्. Okay, one more thing. Sometimes, we are distressed, we say Krishna, 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 then problem goes, then we forget Krishna. Then how does Krishna remind us again? One more problem. Uh, and people keep saying, Arey Baba, my problems are not stopping at all. Arey, stop forgetting Krishna, no, your problems will stop. But we don't stop forgetting Krishna. We keep forgetting Krishna. How do we forget Krishna? Every moment of our life we forget Krishna. When we remember Krishna is when we are in front of Krishna or when we are sitting and hearing. Because even when we are chanting Hare Krishna, I don't know how many of us remember Krishna, right? Uh, so only problem will make us remember Krishna. It's the sure short way to make us remember Krishna. No other way, unfortunately. So don't forget Krishna. My Lord, I've seen all kinds of incarnations you have exhibited by your transcendental qualities, and now that you have appeared as a beautiful young woman, I wish to see that form of your Lordship. Okay, so Shiva has glorified the supreme position of Lord Vishnu. He is the boss of Maya, which that Maya which bewilders every jiva. Uh, and actually, Lord Shiva is above this Maya because he is the husband of Maya, right? So he's above material Maya, but he still can't he still can't deal with Krishna's spiritual Maya. We will see now. When Lord Shiva approached Lord Vishnu inquired about the purpose for Lord Shiva's coming there. Lord Shiva discloses his desire. He wanted to see the recent incarnation of Mohini Murti, which Lord Vishnu had assumed to distribute the nectar generated from the churning of the ocean of milk. So, nectar got generated. So, then Mohini Murti came, distributed the nectar. Lord Shiva wanted to see that form. But see, before he can just express his desire, how many verses of glorification he has offered? We've been reading it for like many days now. It's general etiquette. It's general etiquette that when we approach a superior person, we are expected to glorify that person first. But realistic glorification, not false glorification, not glorification of things that doesn't exist. Huh? Prithu Maharaj is glorified by, all the poets and all those Vandis and all those people. And Prithu Maharaj says, why are you glorifying me for qualities that I don't possess yet? When I possess them, you glorify me. It's like that. In this world, people just simply glorify somebody and somebody will say, yeah, ha, 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 yes, maybe, I only don't know. Maybe all these great qualities are there in me. But Lord is not like that. And devotees are actually perfectly glorified the Supreme Lord, knowing his supreme position. And Lord Shiva being the best of Vaishnavas, so beautifully, such amazing verses. In Bhagavatam, one thing we see, different people have offered different kinds of prayers, but those devotees who have love for the Lord, their prayers are different, even though they might be on the platform of opulence. Still, like Lord Shiva's prayers are fully on the platform of opulence. He's glorifying the opulence of Lord Vishnu, but still we can see in the choice of words, etc., we can see that love that Lord Shiva has for Vishnu. We have to scrutinizingly analyze, then we can understand. Okay, so now we start saying that I want to see that beautiful form of a young woman that you've taken. Now, obviously, this is a lesson for all the men in this world, saying that don't ever think that you are strong enough to uh, protect yourself from Maya. Mm. Unfortunate, but like I keep saying, the Atmas in women body, don't take it personally. Last life you were also a man, not last life, definitely in some previous life, for whatever reason you've taken the form of a female. And those who are in the male body have taken female bodies before. So it's not like it's our eternal, position or eternal form. It's just a temporary form based on some contamination, right? So, but like I keep saying, that we should know the goods and bads of the body which we have got, so that we work accordingly, right? And Shastra says, saying that you know, uh, the most powerful form of Maya in this material world is the form of a woman. So it's dangerous. It's dangerous in that way that it can drive us away from devotion, and especially beautiful women. So this Shastra very, very clearly says so. Um, yeah, so we have to be careful. Um, yeah, so now he wants to see the beautiful young beautiful form of a woman that Lord Vishnu has taken. Okay, I don't know how much we'll get there. We have just 10 minutes. Hmm. येन सम्मोहिता दैत्याः पायिताश्चामृतं सुराः तद्दिदृक्ष वा आयाताः param kautuhalam hinah. So he's saying, see, oh Lord, my Lord, we have come here desiring to see that form of your Lordship which you showed to the demons to captivate them completely. They were sammohita, completely more captivated. They became completely captivated. And in this way, you enable the demigods to drink nectar. I'm very eager to see that form. This is that form which bewildered the Daityas, the Suras. So Shiva is saying, I want to see that form. श्रीशुक उवाच एवम् अभ्यर्थितो विष्णुर्भगवान् शूलपाणिना रहस्य भावगम्भीरं गिरिशं प्रत्यभाषत. Shukadev Goswami said, when Lord Vishnu was thus requested by Lord Shiva, who carries a trident in his hand, he smiled with gravity. Prahasya bhava gambhiram, gambhira bhava, with gravity, but he smiled. Girisham pratyabhasata. Then he replied to Girisha, Lord Shiva. Supreme Personality of Godhead, Vishnu is known as Yogeshwara, Yatra Yogeshwara Krishna. Mystic yogis want to acquire some power by practicing the yoga system. But Krishna is known as the Supreme Lord of all mystic power. What do you want? Devesh, what do you want? Quickly tell me. It's just falling off my hand, a mystic power. Then people will call me God. Hmm. But Krishna is the Supreme Lord of all mystic power. And Prabhupada keeps saying that he didn't have to do some yoga to become that Supreme Lord. Right? So cheaters, just because they've got some Asta Siddhi, they'll cheat people by showing some magic. And foolish people fall for that and say, oh, he's God. Prabhupada is very upset. He scolds them. You don't know what God is, so you can call that rascal a God in Prabhupada's language. Lord Shiva wanted to see the Mohini Murti, which was captivating the entire world, and Lord Vishnu was gravely thinking how to captivate Lord Shiva also. Vishnu was gravely thinking. Therefore, the word Bhava Gambhiram is used here. The illusory material energy is represented by Durga Devi, who is the wife of Girisha, Lord Shiva. Durga Devi could not captivate Lord Shiva's mind. But now that Lord Shiva wanted to see the Lord Vishnu's feminine form, Lord Vishnu, by his mystic power, now this mystic power is not material, it's a spiritual mystic power, would assume a form that would captivate even Lord Shiva. Therefore, Lord Vishnu was grave and at the same time was smiling because he knew what's going to happen now. Hmm. So see, understand that Shiva is not captivated by Durga, who is his own wife, who is the material Maya. But now, Lord Vishnu is going to show his spiritual Maya, to which will end up bewildering even Lord Shiva. Okay. Shri Bhagavan Uvacha Kautuhalaya Daityanam Yoshidvesho Maya Dhrutah Pashyata Surakaryani Gate Piyusha Bhajane. Supreme Personality of Godhead said, when the demons took away the jug of nectar, I assumed the form of a beautiful woman to bewilder them by directly cheating them and thus to act in the interest of demigods. So, philosophy, Lord is explaining why I took the form. Lord assumed the form of a beautiful woman, Moini Murti. When he assumed that form, the demons were certainly captivated, but the demigods present were not. In other words, those who maintain a demoniac mentality are bewildered by the beauty of a woman. But those who are advanced in Krishna consciousness, or even those on the platform of goodness, are not bewildered. So this is a very, very important thing. See, and obviously I'm fallen soul, so I think about these things, saying that, why do we get attracted to this beautiful form of a woman? And then one thought came to my mind, saying that, previously, in previous yugas, generally women were beautiful because it's one of the karma phala of, punya. So one of the result of punya, that one is beautiful. Okay. So, and previously people never used to engage so much in sinful life. So mostly people were so-called handsome and beautiful. Hmm. Now, but that beauty is pure beauty. The pure beauty doesn't disturb the heart of a man. Mm. The pure beauty. Now there is something called as demoniac beauty. Demoniac beauty disturbs the mind. So if and this is more and more for men who are hearing this, saying that if in case you are attracted by the beauty of a woman, understand that it is demoniac. Something is demoniac. Either your mind is demoniac, or the person is demoniac, or the see. It's a very simple thing, that Vaikuntha beauty doesn't create lust in us, doesn't create feeling of lust. Vaikuntha beauty is very different, because in Bhagavatam there's explanation saying that the Vaikuntha Vasis, their wives are so beautiful, but they're not distracted because they're always engaged in glorifying the Supreme Lord. And you don't, your heart doesn't, it doesn't get lusty feelings, don't arise if you see pristine, pure beauty. And that pure beauty was what was there in India, right? And this pure beauty also brings a culture. The beauty is not just skin deep as it is in the Western world. This beauty also brings culture along. And so the person is beautiful. The personality is beautiful, meaning everything that that person does, this form itself is beautiful, but in addition to that, whatever that person does is also beautiful. Meaning, as per Shastra, very, very, which will evoke respect. That is real beauty, overall holistic beauty. But the demoniac beauty of the Western world is skin deep beauty, right? And inside is demoniac. And unfortunately, this kind of beauty awakens lust in the heart of men who are seeing them. But the pure beauty doesn't awaken lust. Prabhupada talks about this in Krishna book. He says when Krishna was born, all the Vrajavasis came to see Krishna, and they are what is their way of celebration? They're throwing butter and milk at each other. And Prabhupada says that, obviously, like, butter, milk on bodies of, women. So it was not. But he said, though all this was happening, nobody's lust was awakened. And he said, only the demoniac, their lust will awaken, when they hear or see such descriptions. Right? So it's very important. And this is actually self-assessment for men. If we are disturbed by the beauty of women, that means that there is demoniac tendency within. So it's very, very important to understand. There is this, yeah. Those who maintain a demoniac mentality are bewildered by the beauty of a woman. But those who are advanced in Krishna consciousness, or even those on the platform of goodness, are not bewildered. The Supreme Personality of Godhead knew that because Lord Shiva is not an ordinary person, he cannot be bewildered even by the most beautiful woman of this material world. Cupid himself tried to invoke Lord Shiva's lusty desires in the presence of Parvati, but Lord Shiva was never agitated. Rather, the blazing fire from Lord Shiva's eyes turned Cupid to ashes, right? Madana was burnt, right? Because he tried to agitate Shiva. Therefore, he is not somebody who is going to get captivated by ordinary beauty of this material world. Therefore, Lord Vishnu had to think twice about what kind of beautiful form would bewilder even Lord Shiva. Consequently, he was smiling gravely, as stated in the previous verse. A beautiful woman cannot generally induce Lord Shiva to be lusty, but Lord Vishnu was considering whether there was any form of woman who could enchant him. Okay, anyway, so more we'll discuss tomorrow. Okay, so we'll end here. Any questions, comments?
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna, Prabhu.
Prabhu.
Okay, you decide who wants to speak
No,
first.
Prabhu can speak
Mataji, go
first.
ahead.
No, Prabhu can speak.
No, again, you decide who wants to speak first.
Okay, it will continue. Prabhu, like when you were talking about beautiful woman and realization. Prabhu, like when you are in a spiritual trip, you're taking a dip and you're half clad, you're not clad, you're changing. You never feel that, why there's somebody looking at me or
Yeah,
you're conscious
yeah,
of your body. You don't. However, like however semi-clad we are, yeah,
right.
yeah. But the same thought, once you come out of the bank
Yeah,
and you're
yeah.
even in the temple, your eyes
Mm-hmm.
keep wandering. So
Mm-hmm. Okay.
the place also, the thought, the
Mm.
वहाँ का जो भाव होता है, that
Yeah.
also plays a lot of
Okay.
difference.
Yeah. Thank
So
you, Mataji.
in Satyuga Prabhu, everybody, the
Mm.
basic idea of a beautiful woman is that it was a high standard.
Yes.
Even
Yes.
the
Yes.
even Vishwamitra got, even when the Ramba Baba they used to come, they used to get distracted. It is not
Yeah.
that they wouldn't get distracted.
Yeah.
So the standard now that the women are not very beautiful, the standard there maybe it was the bar was raised there.
Yeah.
So Prabhu, like it's not. I think it's more to do with the attitude
Yeah.
and the spiritual this thing of the place and the person that time.
Yeah. Okay.
I mean,
Thank you,
I'm
Mataji.
sorry. Maybe like
No. No.
because
Perfect. Perfect. Anyway, I don't.
because I see it with myself, Prabhu. When I'm taking a dip and
Yeah.
anything, I'm not conscious of my clothes. I'm not conscious
Yeah.
of myself. And the
Yeah.
same thing, thoda bhi kapde upar ho ya my sleeves are not already. Like you're so conscious, you want to cover up yourself.
Yeah.
At 70 also, I mean, you're not looking. Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah. That's
yeah, but
part of.
it is.
Yeah. Yeah.
Even
Anyway,
men,
I.
semi-clad men, ये कहते हैं, कैसे कपड़े पहन के हैं? वो they half the time they're, and your thought process never goes in there.
Yeah.
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 Yeah. Sure. Okay. Anyway,
Hare Krishna.
I'm not elevated enough to continue further on this topic. So, if there's anything else to be discussed, we can discuss. Yeah. Okay. I
Hare
think.
Krishna, Prabhu.
Ah.
Yes, yes. So my question was, there is a statement, right, where demigods themselves did not get bewildered by the
Ah.
beauty
Yeah.
of Mohini Murti.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I'm just surprised how come Lord
Yeah. Yeah.
Shiva
Yeah. So. Yeah.
got
No. So
influenced.
that Prabhupada is going to explain in the future verses.
Okay.
So because see, this is a special mercy by Lord Vishnu. So it's not the
Ah,
same form actually.
yes.
It's
Okay. He got
that is
a
why
different
he's thinking
enhanced form.
twice. He's thinking
Okay.
twice. What form should I show? So
Okay.
it was a special mercy. So we'll hear about that in the future verses. Yeah. Okay.
Correct.
Okay. Yeah. Achyut Prabhu, last question. I need to go.
Prabhu, these days we see, devotees throwing flower at each other during kirtan
Devotees throwing flower. Eh?
and
Okay.
during kirtans and
Yeah.
like, is it authorized?
No.
Was it there
No. No.
during
No. No. No.
Prabhupada's time?
No. 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 Not authorized. See, we have to understand saying that the flowers which have been offered to Krishna are not supposed to be thrown because it's going to fall on the ground, we're going to stamp it. So it's offensive. Flowers which have not been offered to Krishna throwing at each other is sense gratification. So either way you see it's not approved. But in ISKCON, everything happens. Central theme seems to be enjoyment. Our enjoyment, not Krishna's enjoyment. Anyway, yeah, not approved.
Thank you.
No, I explained, no. If it is offered, it's offensive. If it is not offered, it's sense gratification. Isn't it?
Yeah,
Shouldn't those
yeah,
flowers be offered to Krishna? Why are we throwing it on each other? We can't do that. It's sense gratification. But once offered to Krishna, then it's prasadam. You put it on your head, not on your feet, not below your feet. Right? I mean, why we are like in the center, we keep seeing even there is one flower fallen somewhere, we try to take it out because we can't stamp. I mean, it's offense. And now just if openly, if you're throwing things at each other, what will happen? Whole floor is full of flowers. Flowers which are offered to Krishna. And instead of honoring it, you are jumping on it. You're walking on it. I mean, generally, what I do when some things like this are happening, I just first get out of that place because I don't want to do that mistake. Others will do, I can't stop. But I don't remain in that hall or wherever that is happening, and I'm out. I protect myself, and those who listen to me, I'll tell them, boss, chalo, we have sufficient problems to deal with our bhakti, right? We don't want to add more problems, right? Yeah. Okay. Okay, we'll close. Really, I need to run. Okay. Thank you so much. Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai, Jagat Guru Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Panchakalpatarubhyashta kripa sindhu bhyo cha patitanam pavnebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. Koti Vaishnava ki jai, Samhita Gaura ki jai. Hare Krishna. Thank you
Hare
all.
Krishna. Pranam Prabhu.
Hare
Pranams to everybody.
Hare
Hare
Krishna
Krishna.
Prabhu.
Hare
Pranam
Krishna,
Prabhu.
Prabhu.